Hey, it's Spring. Welcome back to episode 5 of Frieren. So far I'm loving it. I'm honestly like having a great time watching this. I'm actually making my own like guesses now, like being an active watcher rather than a passive watcher. At least right now as I'm actually starting my own reaction channel. So that's pretty cool because now I can actually share my thoughts with you all. So thank you very much for stopping by. Quick recap of episode 4. Essentially what had happened was Frieren and Fern had went to location and had been offered a book titled Flam. Flam's book, or was it Flam? Forgot the word for it specifically, but they were offered a book titled Flam, right? So from Flam's works. It was obviously a fake, as Frieren has more experience and knowledge in terms of magical books. And so she still decides that while these people need help, and they didn't exactly give her what she'd wanted, she's more than willing to help them. And so you see how time is put into cleaning up the beach, and she and Fern work together. And at the end, you see as their goal was to clear the beach before the new year, and they'd completed it. And so from there, Frieren isn't necessarily amazed by it, but Fern is captivated by the sight. And this makes Frieren smile. And we essentially go to a flashback where we see exactly why this had happened in the first place. Frieren, when she was traveling with her band, been offered the opportunity to do this beforehand, and Frieren had slept through, not really giving much of a thought towards what this really meant for everyone else. Hamel, and I apologize for this, Hamel essentially was like, that's just like you. Like, you may not have liked it, but people around you would have, and as you are a selfless person from what I can gather, that's what I kind of miss that scene a little bit, but from what I gathered, that kind of makes Frieren smile, like, you know, knowing that it's not necessarily about how she views things but how people around her will view things, kind of giving into the theme of branching out of yourself for others. And then we go later on and we see Aizen, and there's a short little brief moment where Aizen is essentially introducing himself. Well, at least it shows introducing his backstory a little bit more, and we learn that his parents had been unfortunately taken out by a demon, and he believes that his parents had no real chance of going to the afterlife. And of course, Haiter, as the priest, is reassuring, and not necessarily reassuring to be reassuring, but just making more so of a statement that if people live good lives, it'd be unfair and unfortunate for them not to have an afterlife. Even despite not holding this belief, 30 years after Mel's passing, you see how Aizen had taken up the belief, at least to whatever extent it was worth, that there is an afterlife for people. Or at least there should be an afterlife, as Haiter had put it. As well as this, you see how the other people in the group had essentially made a connection, and Frieren was more so absent from this. And while necessarily not as strong in the beginning, it did grow its strength as time passed forward, but Frieren wasn't present for this. And it was actually made in order to alleviate her of her regrets and her concerns about not being actually there for the people that had taken care of her and established a relationship with her in the first place. We learned that Flam from the books from before wasn't just necessarily anybody. It was actually Frieren's teacher from when she was younger. How young? I don't really know, but when she was younger, and so, you know, attribute this person, Flam, to be an amazingly talented individual. And I'm really excited to see more of who Flam was and what exactly her relationship was to Frieren, because that's really interesting. To see someone who had probably the longest or the earliest connection to her, despite not knowing her age, can definitely give more insight to who she was like when she was younger and how much she's grown as a person from that point forward. So I'll be starting this episode reaction in 3, 2, 1. How long is this dude gonna be here for? Half my life? Look at me trying to do math. It's not like me. Also, yeah, it changed a little bit. I put my little thingy up in here. Only because I'm gonna be watching this back to back to back. I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit. I can try and put on my hat. I'll show you. So, you know, it didn't work out, but you go watch it for right now. How are you doing today? Also, like, are you having fun? Like, I'm having so much fun. Like, I'm happy you're here. So it's probably possible for Fern to see her parents as well as sides here, actually. How long they spend together? Like 3 years? 4 years? I just had a realization that I could start optimizing the way I make these videos. Hallucination. Easy. I got that. Whoa. Oh, okay, I thought that's what was happening. I'm like, that's kind of twisted. That was a slight animation that I want to see more of. Hallucination? I'm really like on this. It's gonna be that simple though? Do they respond? Do they respond like they're actually being hurt? That's fire. That's fire. So does it reflect what you like want to hear the most? Like it taps into your memories? Mm-hmm. No, bro, let her handle it. Let her handle it. Let her handle it. Let her handle it. Can you? Oh, this is so. Why did she go so hard for that? Dang. Once it was shoot me, not kill me, bro. Yo, y'all didn't have to put like a whole entire in the forest, bro. They didn't have to do all that. They didn't have to go that crazy. And I assure you, I will one very soon day get a better note-taking strategy. Grimoire is the word I was looking for. Oh, so Flam's Grimoire from the opening I was talking about. Probably would have been for her to hit the nest. Good. Run, dude. Yo, get out! Oh, I thought she was gonna start flying on the thingy. Oh, we're getting a fighter. My apprentice. Hey, I like that guy in the back. He's trying to sell me something. I know it. Injuries? Stark is no longer Stark, but his son or the grandson. Young Starky. Huh? Mama's I'm just making. Yo, I love that dragon so much. Oh, what? Okay, so it's out of respect. It's out of respect, I see. Okay. Yeah, he stood on. Been on business for him. Dang. That's your shark. If him just being there made the dragon not attack? Wow.
お前らが竜に手を出していた連中か。あまり刺激されると困るんだ。村に危険が及ぶ。竜ってのはお前らが思っている以上に恐ろしい存在だ。この額の傷も暗黒竜が戦った時。そんな大層な傷じゃないでしょ。お前ら師匠の差し金か。何者だ。魔法使いフリーレン。 ばあちゃん、外してくれ。
The black cool guy. Oh my god, that scared me.
シュタルク、なんで竜を倒さないでいるの？村にとどまる理由なんてないでしょ。
Like duty?
まずは公共竜の討伐を手伝ってもらいたいかな。巣にある魔導書が欲しいからね。
理由もなく戦う相手じゃねえだろ。
Okay, I like that guy. No, bring him back. I see. Okay, okay.
くだらねえな。でしょ。仲間になるのは別に構わないぜ。正直俺一人じゃ厳しくてな。フリーレン、お前なら倒せるかな。30秒は指定して。
My word.
確実に。
なるほど。30秒か。
シュタルク、魔物との戦闘経験は？
ゼロだよ。
助
けてくれよ、フリーレン。俺だって最初は立ち向かったんだよ。でも怖くて一歩も動けなかったんだよ。あいつ家を野菜みたいに輪切りにしちまうんだぜ。人間が戦っていいような相手じゃねえよ。竜の気まぐれで助かったと思ったらなぜかその後竜が村を襲わなくなって英雄扱い。村の人たち超いいんだよ。仲いいんだからいっぱいお食べ。
スタルク、新しい必殺技見せてよ。こいつはダメです。他を当たりましょう。
Wait, this is fun. Ooh, this is fun. Yeah, word. The dragon would have just left if he could have put like a Zenitsu or something like that. He definitely is a Zenitsu type. Has to be. Maybe not. I'm not opposed to that either. As long as it works. Yeah, you're putting other people at risk by not actually, like, addressing the danger. You know what I mean? Like, by doing so, if there's an actual legitimate threat that's willing to test him, it's only a matter of time before people actually lose their lives. You know, not like just like a guesstimation. Unless the villagers also know that he's not capable, but they admire his dedication. You know? You never know what really goes on. You never know. Yeah, because Stark got that talent. Maybe he's like a nighter, you know? Like at night, like his skin like opens up and his true self crawls out from beneath the ruffles and folds of his epidermal skin.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Only one. So that means maybe his town fought? The only one.
なるほど。いい戦士だ。これは修行の後だったんですね。
Oh, I thought this ending was different. Something about it just felt a little bit different.
He tried it.
I'm actually now looking at the lyrics for this. I like that episode. Okay, honestly, I'm gonna show you my notes so you can understand how inefficient inefficient of a system I've found for myself, right? Let me know what you think.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
I'll talk to you like this, right? What? Okay, okay. Honestly, it's not gonna work. I guess more so of finding like a commonality between certain people. I can't really say that's like the main thing. Even like 12 seconds. I just finished watching episode 5. Yeah, honestly, I enjoyed that episode. It definitely reinforces as the reason why Frieren will also benefit greatly from this journey. Her and Haicher's relationship was definitely really special. It definitely came to her when she needed it most. As I said before, like that's something you don't want to see anyone doing, most especially a kid, right? So when she had really found Haicher, it was when it was a desperate time for her to meet someone who would care for her and take care of her in the ways that she needed as a child. You know what I mean? It's very difficult for children. And I can only assume in this universe to make it, not even having the proper opportunity to even survive. And Frieren only left with one option, and we all know what that option was. But Haicher definitely came at the right moment to really alleviate her worries and concerns, and really raise her to be self-sufficient to an extent in terms of magic and protection, at least to establish the foundations. And it can only be assumed that from this time together that they had spent, it was definitely necessary, definitely something that needed to be done in order to really establish a level of confidence in herself. And wait for them to really bond. It's something that you've seen, at least I've seen depicted, at least from Frieren's perspective, that magic is really what bound them together and created their connection. So she's definitely connected with Haicher, regardless of whether or not it was for a long time. It's something that had taken her from the depths of what could only be despair. We run into an Einstein. It creates illusions. It's illusionary magic that essentially brings the dead back as though they were still alive. And in doing so, it kind of lures people into a trap of deception, of trying to really get back what you've lost. And you can't really fight that. Human, or at least the heart, is really weak when it comes to seeing what you've been waiting and wanting for years. It's hard to turn your back to someone that you've cared to love or grown to love. So you definitely see how that definitely impacts Frieren on her first attempt of seeing an Einstein. But you can only say that this was probably a really traumatic moment for Frieren as well. Because she automatically wants to avoid this monster, not even engage with it to any capacity. So I'm just going to assume that, like, for her, killing her master while she did say, or unaliving her master, sorry. It could be said that unaliving her master, while, you know, it wasn't necessarily as big of a deal as she said it was, it definitely impacted her in a way that she would rather avoid doing it again. And you see how the memories kind of tie in to Frieren's belief that if she if she does well and she performs well and she does the best as she possibly can, she will be visited again by Hydra, and that's a want that she still carries to this day. Of course, as he is essentially a father to her. You know, you don't want to, as I said before, lose his connections. So I understand. And you also see how Freeman's ghost is no longer her master, it's actually Himmel. So you can see how these different figures kind of create long-standing impacts as to where even there in her mind, she knows that it's not him, and she can't really like dwell on it too much, but she accounts for how accurate of a telling this is. Like Himmel wouldn't want her to really be worried, right? To stress. If I'm not real, then just get rid of me. It's that simple. And so it's nice to see at least that level of strength from Frieren, right? Because as we've seen Fern be incredibly talented for her age, as well as her just being new to magic in comparison to Frieren, she's still able within a matter of seconds to just call it what it is and lets it go. Like, she had no reason to shoot off a shot that powerful. Like, and I to an extent was thinking that maybe it's an emotional response, right? Like, to see him and to have to shoot him, might as well make it the most, at least to that extent, the strongest shot you could possibly go at. We then meet Eisen again as we, Frieren and Fern, decide to go against a dragon. This dragon wasn't having it. This dragon had some tough skin, like skin so tough. It couldn't even bluff. Okay.
You're not that guy,
Okay.
pal. Trust me. You're not that
Okay.
guy.
I can't continue that. It was bad. I'm sorry. And so they run and they realize like mages can't really be fighting like that. That's not how a mage fights. We need somebody who could like frontline to be our big boy, like, you know, to go in there and make that damage work. So she goes, Frieren goes, to Eisen. It's like, hey, do you know anyone? And Eisen's like, I have the perfect guy for you. His name is Stark. He's my apprentice. Later find out that his apprentice went missing. Then you come to find out that when the dragon was attacking the village, he said, I got this, and went up there and looked him dead in the face, and he ran away. The dragon ran away. Only to find out, from Stark's perspective, he was just too scared to move. I respect that honesty, though. You know me, I would have just said that I was just built like that. Even though I meant it was just built like that, and I was too scared. Like, he admitted it first and foremost. I respect it. But also, you find that Stark stopped showing up to Eisen. Completely, like, ignored him for 3 years about. Which is really wild. And I'm assuming it's stemming mostly from a fear of combat. So I definitely have the hopes that he's actually incredibly gifted and capable. Of course, as he's Eisen's apprentice, that this is just going to be like an automatic. Of course he's talented. Of course he's strong. Eisen even likens him to himself, right? The only person to run away from an attack. And we also kind of build more depth on Eisen's character. Last episode, we had essentially seen how he put his family to rest and started believing that there's some sort of afterlife for them, right? You find out that from that instance, Stark had also been in a similar situation where his village was attacked and presumed that many people in his village had passed away or they lost their lives, but he was the only person to run. And this is where Eisen really finds himself relating to him, because he also ran, and in doing so, he lost his parents. But who's to say that he didn't lose any more people besides those two? So from seeing the weakness that he had within someone else, he decides that the best way to protect this person and really arm them for the worst is to essentially teach them everything that he knows. And so he does that. And seeing what I've seen from Eisen in general, like within like the first episode or two, he definitely showed some characteristics of strength. As well in the last episode or the episode before, where he was running on water. What? I don't even know how that works, but he was running on water, so obviously that Stark is young. He definitely seems like he has a lot of character to him, that he will succeed. He's learned a lot. You're learning from Frieren and Aizen, literally the two survivors of the magical hero band that saved the world from the Demon King, and you're weak. It doesn't work like that. So I'm really looking forward to the next episode. I may watch one more, but if you can or cannot tell, my energy is kind of dipped in the last 5 minutes. It's currently like 2 a.m., like 2:40 a.m. So I'm really tempted to watch another episode. If I'm not wearing this in the next episode that you see, just know I didn't win. I definitely lost. Okay, and before I go, one last thing. I like the ending. And I think next episode, I'll go more in depth and really read it through from the beginning. But as I was going through, I definitely saw like the notes of where I believe this is coming from Frieren's perspective. Not necessarily because it's from her, but it's more so saying from the perspective of someone who would at least want the opportunity to be with one person whenever they can, no matter how long it takes. I'm assuming it's Frieren. But that's just me. Alright, so thank you for watching. My name is Bree. And I'll see you in the next episode. Or in the next reaction. Wait, hold on, I'll do it again. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. My name is Bree, and thank you so much. If you'd like, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really would mean a lot to me. And even if you don't, as long as you had a good time and I had a good time, that's all that really matters to me. Also, I'd like to ask you this. If you are watching this, if you could please give me some insight as to how these videos are really being perceived, especially by you and what you think. If there's anything that I should really work on, as well as anything that you think that I could do better with, I'm more than happy to have some type of criticism. This is really I guess this is my second day recording an actual video in the hopes to release it for YouTube. So I don't really have much to really go on in terms of anything, because also I haven't even posted my first video yet. This is really just me like stepping forward and getting these things out, because I've been meaning to, and it's January 3rd right now. But when I first started recording, January 2nd, and 2024 is going to be the year, our year, and at least in this year, you and I will get to spend more time together. So I'm really excited for that. And so anything you have to say, anything you want to say, or anything like that, please let me know. I also don't have a channel name yet, which I probably will soon. So I'll definitely be changing up my intros when I get to that point. And also, if you are familiar with OBS, nah, that's another question for another day. Alright, thank you so much. Have a good night.